Hey, so middle-aged musician here, and today I wanted to talk about my Walrus Audio Fable. This guy. I'll get it. My wrist is still a little messed up, so I'm trying to get it right there. But yeah, so a couple of years ago, I got really into kind of these analog modular synths, kind of the eurorack thing. And there are like these cloud modular, basically these granular, they're samplers, right? So they take a sample of the signal and they repeat it back. So it's like a glitchy delay. It takes a little bit of the signal and it plays back over and over and over again. And this is more or less what this thing is. Like all of the Walrus Audio stuff, it has lots of different modes. So we have 5 different program modes. You might see there's 5 of that. Tone, time. We won't talk about X right now. Mix, the wet dry mix. So we're getting, tone, time. So program, tone, time, and this thing called X, which, depending on which pedal it is like the magic sauce, how much of it you want. On the top, we've got the mix, modulation, regeneration, and feedback. So this is how I have it set up right now. There we go. So that's how I have it set up right now. I use it in conjunction with other pedals. It's not really you could use it as like the only pedal, and that's how actually I'm going to begin demonstrating it. I'll mix some other stuff in later. I use it in conjunction with delays and reverbs, and that it gives you So if you like delays and reverbs, the things they give you is this sense of, I don't know, without getting too artistic on you, like this cubist sense where like time, you can see time in space. And so that's kind of what it does. It like takes these little slices of things and moves it around, and you get that with a lot of these delays and some reverbs, more so than like the vibrato pedal or some other modulation pedal. This is a distinct kind of thing that it does, and it is very good for ambient tones. I have a couple of pedals I like to use. This one and another one that just like takes a kind of a signal and perpetuates it forever. That I like to use for ambient music, but it's a pretty cool pedal. They're well built. I mean, the enclosure's solid. Of course, I've got all the stuff, but enclosure's solid. You just have in, out, power. The knobs. If you look at the knobs, see if you can see that. Yeah, there you go. They've got these little brass screws to seat them. Everything feels high quality. The graphics are cool, right? I don't know what that's supposed to be, but something that evokes Fable. We'll look a little bit at the guts, and then we'll play it a lot. So stay tuned. Thanks. And I'm wearing a hat because I need a haircut. Sorry about that. Okay, so I took the screws out of the back to just get a cursory look inside. The first thing I would note is that this was a more difficult procedure than most other pedals that I see. A lot of them have these kind of standard enclosures. I don't know if these are custom made, but I got my first indication as to why these were just a little tighter than others is because, let's see if you can see that. So this is a self-tapping screw. So most other stuff have they're all threaded and all that. So I think they're having their own enclosures made. which is an interesting point. But the screws, normally you just kind of hit them a little bit and then they just come out right away. So first thing you'll notice, cliff jacks. Lots of surface mount stuff, right? So you're not going to service this stuff, right? This is SMT components, right? So surface mount SMT components, they put them in a flow bench, and that they have the solder melted in. This stuff is just microscopic. I mean, I'll just put my finger in front of this, right? You're not going to be able to work on any of this. So, they probably do the prototypes and then probably map it all out in Spice or something like that and send it off and have the circuit boards made. So yeah, I mean, there's complicated circuits. So if something happens, you're not going to take it to your local tech to replace this. Like you can't do it. They have to replace the board. So, something ever goes wrong with this pedal, you have to throw it out. Now that being said, it's not that expensive a pedal. You're less than $200, and if something happens, you probably find one used for half that. And a tech's time is going to be worth more than that. So, it is what it is. But they probably landed on the moon with less technology than what's in here. So, for whatever that's worth. But yeah, for maintenance, workability in the future, if this pedal breaks, you're gonna throw it out. Maybe keep the enclosure and reuse it. Cliff jacks are good. Some other stuff is good. But you got little transistors here. They're kind of cool. But yeah, most of it you can't do anything with. So there is that. So I'm gonna do some quick demo of some of the sounds. So I'm gonna plug my guitar straight into the Fable, straight into my Scarlett, and then the DAW on record using my trusty Telecaster I had forever. It was a anniversary edition back in the day, the Mexican anniversary, 60th anniversary or something like that. What does it say? This is 60. Yeah, 60. Believe it or not, I bought this guitar new. It's about worn out. I've done everything to it. It's got a Seymour Duncan super distortion in the bridge, straight in single volume kill switch. That's it. It's had many lives. So probably gonna get buried with this thing. But anyway, that's what I'm going to use to demo. Again, just plugging straight in, nothing fancy. I'm not going to play anything fancy. I'm just going to give you some idea of what it does. Later on, show you some other, in conjunction with other pedals. But let's just start with, the basics, right? That's what, you don't need anything fancy here. So here we go. So for this next section, I threw some other effects in the mix. So I'd go into the Fable and then into a Boss DD8, I think it is digital delay, and then the Space Echo RE2. I don't have them set up anywhere crazy, but just kind of giving you an idea of, you feed that signal in. Oddly enough, normally these two pedals I have sitting in front of this, feeding into the Fable, and then the Fable goes into When the Sun Explodes and a RV7 or RV8 Boss reverb. Hey, I have to look. I don't know. I kind of set it and forget it. So, but yeah, for ambient tones, you can do some crazy stuff. But I just wanted to give some basics, basic tones. So I don't have it set crazy, just a little bit, where most people would think it was usable. If you listen to some of the stuff that I published as Rob the Bear, some of the delay, reverb, and that can get a little crazy. Some of the ambient tones can get a little far out there. So trying to keep it where most people might use it, and just a little bit of pepper, a little bit of salt and pepper on it. So anyway, hope you enjoy it.